Okay.
Hello and welcome today to today's Wellness and Hospitality interview. Today I have someone very special, a fellow wellness leader in the industry, Ram Chatterjee, Country Wellness Director for Six Senses Bhutan. What a beautiful country. Ram, thank you so much for allowing me to pick your brains today.
Hi, Sonal. It's my privilege, and thank you for having me. It's such a wonderful, meeting with you, and I'm going to talk with you. So I'm very excited and very happy for it.
I'm far more excited, I can assure you. Bhutan, I mean, you're overseeing five properties, is that right?
Yes, Bhutan has it's a circuit. You have to travel if you really want to explore the Bhutan. Then it's not about the one place; it is a multiple place where the strategically it's been built the hotel. So then the trip will be completed. So there is a five lodges are there. So the guests are normally doing this whole circuit. So we have a five properties and beautiful location.
Sam, I mean, your story is fascinating. Tell us a bit more about your trajectory, I think, because you're a great source of inspiration for wellness directors in hotels.
Oh, I really don't know, but yes, sometimes what I feel that people who have worked with me 20 years back, 10 years back, so they still remember me and they love me so much, so that I felt like maybe I've done something into their life. So my story is, I'm a absolutely passionate wellness professional because I live wellness, I breathe wellness, and I always talk about wellness. And it is not from a now; it is from the childhood. So it is a long story short that yes, I started with my gymnastic, martial art training, yoga, meditation, with all those things, and then slowly I evolved because what I realized in the beginning that if you want to be successful, you need to know everything. But yes, there are some core area you need to be mastered into it. Otherwise, you will not be successful. So that is called knowledge. So the knowledge is not enough. You need to have experience. So that means you have to work with the different places, different with the different people. So I did that. And the another component is it is called education.
Mm.
So I still educate myself till today because if you see, I have gone through with a lot of like a SIPTET, CIDESCO, naturopathy, meditation teacher, yoga teacher, I'm a martial arts. So this been because it's been a long time, and I feel that unless I am educated, I am well experienced, and I can connect with people, uh, then it will not be an that impact that what you want to create. And I'm lucky that because I'm passionate, because every time I feel I do not know anything every year I need to upgrade myself. So that is what makes me feel very comfortable, and any platform I'm very comfortable and confident because of I think these three combination. And yes, I love this industry because the beautiful people around, and the best part is you can visit to a beautiful location in across the globe. So this has become my big family, the hospitality and wellness. So yeah, I've grown up in a very I worked with all the stages and come to this position, and I'm still enjoying. And every day, I don't feel like it's my job. I feel like more of a responsibility. It is not my regular job. I have much more to add to in this that as a wellness director, you are actually trying to do something which is not other professional can do it.
I
So there
agree.
I am with you.
No, I agree. I think, whatever we do, specifically, I think something powerful happens at the intersection between wellness and hospitality. And I think, you can have, you have these beautiful wellness modalities that you've learned, and then the ability to travel to many countries, learn all these
Countries.
different healing traditions and the impact to make in people's lives is far fetching. So I think it's just amazing. And I love the
Right.
work you're doing. And I love also the example that you are giving to many people in the industry. And, specifically now talking about, wellness and hospitality, and you've been in this industry and from all ranks really, and for a long time. How do you think the last few years, the last 3, 4, 5 years have shifted in terms of wellness and hospitality? Has your perspective shifted in any shape, way, or form?
I would say definitely, Sonal, because in the last few years, because after the pandemic, many things had changed. The customer requirement has changed, first of all. The guests are, before it was a set requirement. Now there are many requirements, especially, how you should eat and how you should, what are the things, even in the people are going into that level that what chemicals has been used in my laundry, in my clothes, that detailing, which is a great thing in terms of in the people's life. It was a roller coaster, and it was a big shipment. And I think hospitality industry is still struggling to overcome from the pandemic. And but it is more dynamic than before. It is much more dynamic. It is much more personalized. And guest has a different kind of every day we are getting different kind of requirement which we were never aware in before, and that is helping us to learn a lot of things because guests are very very focused what they want to eat, where they want to sleep, and what are the things they're going to do. And of course I need to add to this that wellness has taken a center stage in across the globe. So this is the biggest shipment happened after the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, I think suddenly people had that much needed wake up call, the importance of how we live our lives, also the impact we're having on our environment, on our community. And I think these are very exciting times for our industry to suddenly, wellness is definitely front and center, and that's clear. And,
Absolutely.
as the boom, and, you mentioned something very important here that consumers are asking for it. Our guests are asking for it. They are increasingly more sophisticated. And there's this upward trend. Wellness is going to continue to be important. In your opinion and what you're seeing in the market, where do you see specifically wellness and hospitality in the mid, short to long term? So let's say this year is the short term, mid term will be next year, and long term going forward from, let's say, 27 onwards.
So the short term is what I say that whatever the losses has been incurred by the owners and the hospitality, the company, I feel like they're still recovering. It is recover has not happened. So I think the short term goal would be to recover the lost revenues and even the reputation, whatever it is. So that needs to it will be I think by 25, 26, it's going to be recovered in terms of reputation, in terms of monetary. I think that would be a short term, the goal what I can see. And midterm, I feel one thing is like a more often people are asking the sustainability. The sustainability is going to be the midterm goal. What I feel like, along with that, technology, because technology is taking over in many areas. So that would be the I think midterm and long term. I would say it's a wellness.
Hmm.
You know, uh, it is going to be wellness because I believed in this. You will not believe, Sonal. A lot of my old colleague will know that from 25 years or 20 years back, I said it that wellness is going to be the center stage. That time, nobody was to give any kind of, that, oh, as per the standard amenities, put it. So it was like that. But now the shipment has much, much changed. And I think the future and the final thing should be even it is already started, but still it's not in that level. But I'm very certain that wellness is going to be the ultimate, everything will be based from the wellness. Like now, if you see the typical hotel is based on the food and beverage and in the rooms and the banquet facilities and this thing. So still now it will be what kind of wellness facilities you have, what are the things that you are offering. Based on that, the entire hotel design, everything conceptualized will take place. That's I'm very, very certain.
I also believe that. I think that, I agree with you. Like, what's 20, 25 years ago, wellness was not even called wellness. The industry was, in
Exactly.
a very different
True.
place. And now it's lovely to see when wellness center is stage. And I agree. I also see it that, let's say we've still got a few years under our belt for that to happen. But it will be the center for focus. And I think we will also see many leaders like yourself actually even managing hotels, because this will be required, where it's no longer food and beverage conferences and rooms that are calling the shots. There will be that triad. The wellness will also be a very strong pillar, not only in wellness retreats but also in general. That's what guests would want. And I certainly think that'll also happen. But like with any growth, like in 25 years ago, we saw spas coming into big hotels, and then we saw these grand facilities that were underutilized. And, you see cycles all the time in the industry. And now you suddenly see wellness. Everyone's talking about wellness. Everyone's a wellness guru. And then on top of that, you touched on technology, right? And AI. So it's like, it's interesting times in our industry right now, and I think in all, but now as
Absolutely.
we're definitely feeling it. What are the potential spanners in the work or red flags we need to be aware of, do you think?
Um, See, I do not know how people will going to take it, but what I feel, which I have seen in across brands, they need to walk their talk. Most of the time, if I may say in a certain example, I can give you, you can relate. I know some people may not feel is inappropriate, but this is quite bothering me from many years. Number one, when a person thinks to start the career in the hospitality industry, so they do a course and they have no idea about. They only have seen the glamour part of the hospitality, but they do not know that they need to work hard to get there. So obviously there are young people, they have aspiration, but they join as a management trainee or an industrial trainee. But the way people treat them, so there are a lot of people I have personally known, they have approached me and they really cry and they, they stop going to the work because nobody cares. They people think about this as a free labor because you don't have to pay. That is their course they have to do. So that should stop. A lot of general managers, senior leaders, they will speak nicely that we should take care and all those things, but in reality, it doesn't happen. And which is I'm very very upset. I have worked with one of the largest company, and I said that you all are saying, but actually you are not doing. Even the human resource director, manager, they will speak a lot as a humanity, but in ground reality, they don't care. And because of that, I have seen how much they cry. What frustration, how stressful life they're leading. We should not forget that when you become leader, it is not only our responsibility to achieve the KPI, financial goal, or personal goal. We also have responsibility to hold their hands and to help them to grow and to settle them in their life. Because this is the thing people, they completely ignore it. They do an extra hours, all the odd hours, they ask them to come and they don't even care. They really treat them badly. So that is what, and those people after their retirement or something, they will be very human after that. Oh, you should not do that. You should not do that. So this kind of hypocrisy should stop. You should mean it. If you're a human resource, you should feel it. You should not treat them like that. So I really I feel a lot of pain. That is one. Another one, if you see, um, the people they will the position they will immediately advertise. If suppose one position got vacant, they will apply. They will do the advertisement. After they recruit, the advertisement is still going on. There's nobody's bothered to just close that. And because of that, they're breaking hearts for many aspire leaders. They are applying and they're not getting replies. They get broken. They get so frustrated. He said, I'm applying, there's no reply. A candidate takes a lot of time to apply, with a lot of hope, a lot of expectation, and then never get to hear from them. Fine, I understand the volume of application you may not, but at least take it out if your position is filled. Most of the places this is not happening, and you are breaking the heart for the people. That needs to stop. I do not know. I mean, how people will come up with a lot of excuses, but this is across the place. This is what this needs to be immediately stopped. Otherwise, in the future, we will not able to create a good leaders. If a person who is joining and they are not being taken care, then how? what kind of motivation they will have to grow, and they live in between and they join somewhere else. Their dreams is broken in the middle. So these are the things you have to nurture and create, that walk your talk as a leader. Just don't say, because in town hall, do not say the big thing which you'd never follow. You must, today's generation are very much aware that they need respect. They need something, to come up in life. But unfortunately, uh, it's not the practice, it's not the reality. So these two things, I think it bothers me a lot
Yeah,
because I see people, they approach me.
I think it's a very bold, and I 100%, I'm on the same page with you. There is a lot of hypocrisy in the industry, and definitely you don't see many people walk the talk. And on the one side, we complain we can't find enough staff or we don't find the right staff. But then on the other hand, those people that are
They don't care.
applying, we treat them like numbers. And honestly, in today's day and age where we have so much automation, so many systems and technology in place, honestly, there is no excuse to even send an automated email to just acknowledge someone, and
Yeah,
filter. I think
exactly.
there is no excuse. It's just, that sloppiness that goes, with
Yeah,
how
and
you look
if I
at your
add one
world.
more, sorry. Yeah, if I add one more point, another thing is, if you see, this is based on it's my personal experience. I'm saying, it's been, I worked with so many brands. They have the specific candidates in their mind, okay, but still they will advertise. And why you have to do all those things? I know the protocol, everything. I mean, don't break hearts with people. If you have already have a candidate in mind, suppose they want a female candidate, but they will advertise. They need a specific nationalities, but they will advertise as if they are and they will say we are not gender biased. But in reality, they're too much gender biased. So this needs to stop. You don't mean it. You are breaking so many hearts. You have no right to do that. If you have already candidates mind, go for it. Why you are advertising? Why are you saying that we are open, we are gender wise company? Don't do that. So these things has to stop. Otherwise, people are losing hope. And because of I interact with many people and I see how much you know they hold the grudges and the pain, which is really bothers me. And I do not know. I mean, people should not just don't think in other way. But this is a fact. What I'm saying, it is not a something which I heard from anyone. This is I have experienced it. That's what I'm saying, and this is happening till nay. Even it will happen in coming days. That needs to stop.
I agree. I mean, I think, and it's very good to flag this hypocrisy that we're seeing, that lack of, there's this dissonance between, what we're saying, what we're doing, and what we're thinking. And we're not serving our industry doing it like that. I mean, if we think we have a shortage, that's why, staff or people don't want to be in this industry. We were thrown
Exactly.
at as quick as possible. That's no one's fault. The pandemic happened to everyone. Businesses were unfortunate, but we were one of the first to get out, and coming back was not a feast either. So it's been a challenging industry, and now when we're trying to rebuild, when people are needed more than ever, we're not giving them the respect. We're reverting to old ways, but market, like greenwashing, values washing, ethics washing, and people read through that. He said the next generation is very savvy. They will flag something that they
Exactly.
find is disrespectful behavior, which they should.
Yeah, actually, if you see, that's why there's so much of shortage of this. Nobody wants to come because of we are not able to create an example. We are, and this industry has so much of potential, so much of potential. It should be the preferred industry for people. And I feel, why this is also happening. Most of the leaders, they lack of maturity and spirituality. Because because the mindful, again, this wellness, it is not for any particular profession. It can be for all across the different kind of profession. The more you will have a self-awareness, more you have a little bit of spirituality, you'll able to think rationally, you'll able to think in a balanced manner. Then these spots, the gaps, you will able to see through. Because spirituality is nothing but seeing clearly.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about meditating. I'm not talking about doing mindfulness. No, it's like obviously it is a part of it. But the more you become mindful, more you become spiritual, your vision will be much clearer. You will able to see all these gaps. Probably you are not aware of it. I'll tell you a very good example. One of the very senior general manager. Okay, I was presenting something in the pandemic time. That you should not say anything when the people are going home. Please don't disturb them, because if you break their heart, they will disturb their family, and then community will get disturbed because he will go and speak to someone. His heart is broken. So do not speak. Do not say anything. Speak to them next day when they come to work, so that end of the day when they're going, they should go happy. And then many example I have given. There's like most of the chefs, they don't get time to recover. It's not required to do a 12, 13 hour shift, because people are not able to think out of the box. Only they think, okay, this is the way it has been done. This is the way it
Yeah.
is going to be. It will continue. Nobody give a thoughts. Do I really need that person to be 9 hour shift? Why the person every time 12 hours? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 days exceptional. But majority of hotel is become a normal practice. That minimum you have to work in 12 hours, 13 hours. Why? That means your inefficiency. That is what, when I have worked, I ensure that my none of the people, and I can say it, a lot of people will listen to it. Nobody can say that I made them work extra, because it is your efficiency. You can still handle it, but that comes within spirituality and balance, and maturity. Unfortunately, in our hospitality, majority of leaders, they don't have it. They just, the way they have seen their boss, they are following their footpath. they
Yeah.
never challenge they never challenge the thought process. They never wanted to create something. They only think about themselves and not others. Very few leaders, I have seen that they think for others. But unfortunately, this is a fact. And that can only wellness can help it. That these people will definitely be mindful before taking any decision.
Yeah, and I think these are wellness practices like they should be practicing as hoteliers. And when I hear you speak, I think, okay, this definitely happens and is happening across the board. And I find that majority of my clients are boutique hotel owners who want that strong wellness retreat. So they've had kind of a life changing experience and they want to give back to the community, the environment, and you can see their intention is so much different. This, as you said, this wellness, this kindness. I'd be more specific, this clarity that comes from being aligned with your values. What is it that you stand for? That clarity, and that you can call it spirituality, you can call it clear, your ikigai, as the Japanese would say, whatever that is, having that clear and how you want to show up in the world, how you want to do business. And I find we are seeing this new wave of probably more in the boutique hotel sphere where people are coming from a different industry, have been burned out, and don't want to live that and don't want that to be left behind them. And that kind of, we need more of that. And as you said, that is wellness in its core essence that's going to make that happen. And now, you know, clearly we know hospitality leaders are bred in a very specific way for hundreds of years. We've seen them, coming churned out of these schools. Like, doesn't matter if they're 30, 40 years apart in age, they still act the same. As you said, they're doing what the
Yeah.
predecessors did. But in wellness, we're still the baby coming into this industry. And we're just barely now getting a voice within the industry, right? And obviously, many of us have earned our voice. What advice would you give those therapists, those receptionists, or whoever it is in the hospitality industry who wants to become a wellness leader in a hotel? What advice would you give them? How can they be different from what's happening here now?
So, this is a very simple thing that they should be doing, because as you mentioned that our the wellness is now, we have a little voice, but we have a long way to go. And our future, the generation, like those who are working as a therapist, supervisor, or assistant. If you see, you have to understand that which business you are in, and you have to develop yourself according to that. If you're a football player, you should develop yourself. You need to have more cardiac strength, you need to have a more leg strength. If you're a boxer, then you have a more movement and weight training. You have to develop that way. So being a wellness professional, I would say majority of wellness professional at this therapy stage, they don't study. They think they don't need to study. They do not evaluate themselves. They do not only think that doing massage is fine, because you will see the spirituality is missing on them, because they I'm not saying the all people, but majority of the therapists, they have no idea what job they're doing. Okay, so this is what in my the thank God and Six Senses is definitely is very different. We have a lot of program, and this is an amazing company for whatever I said it is, that we do actually practice. That's what I have seen the difference. What why others are not doing, we are doing that in a religiously, and whatever the company promises is there on the floor. So these therapists need to do regular exercise, regular meditation, they should be different in their act. I'm not saying that you will stop enjoying your life, but you need to create your personality in such a way that people should think, wow, this is a spa therapist. They're still well balanced. So that kind of standout character. So you need to have some knowledge. There's some reads about well-being, wellness. There are so many sources today's time. At least 10 pages, 10 minutes every day. Do at least 15 minutes exercise, 5 minutes meditation, eat mindfully, and stand out from the crowd. So then with the respect you will earn. Like suppose, I have earned this respect with amongst my friends and families and communities, because we do things differently. It's not that we don't enjoy. We are part of anything, everything, but we are different. And that is way, once you develop that self-respect, and that will manifest your action when you do, and that leadership will born automatically. And then you will able to see the broader picture. Your vision will be clear. Then you'll become like, suppose today, whatever I do, I always think that my industry should not be insulted for any of my act. My industry should be, because I'm more responsible for industry rather than myself. I'm so aware. I'm so particular. So this is the way people need to develop. So it is not about just work, work, work. Majority of leaders, they have a weakness about the P&L, understanding about the budgets, understanding about the forecasting, understanding about the pre-opening. There are many gray areas. So then if they identify that, okay, I'm not good at, they need to focus on it. Unless you are knowledgeable and able to express your what you want to, nobody is going to come and respect you.
No.
It is not about doing the treatment. You are not about just in fitness facilities. You have to understand. You have to live that. There are two things. You read in books and you understand something, but you read the books and do the things in your own way. Then you will see the difference.
Yeah, application is so
Like
important of just
exactly.
reading and
So
consuming. You have to
no,
apply it, learn from it.
apply it. So you need to be passionate. That's what I said. If you are a footballer, if you look like a badminton player, it is not going to work. You need to have more strength. So you have to work more on your cardiovascular exercise. You need to do more of a leg exercise. So because you're playing football, so if you're a wellness professional, then you need to develop yourself holistic as a wellness personality. Otherwise, nobody is going to come and give you a full platter that, okay, please come. No, so you have to all around holistically, you have to develop. You have to understand inside business. You have to, so that any senior manager, when you speak, then moment you're able to answer them, then they will say, oh, okay, this guy knows of what he's talking. And then their respect automatically will increase. But if you speak to someone who has no clue what I'm talking about, then they say, oh, he's a kid, what I'm talking about. And that is why they will not get the place, and the industry overall will not grow.
I
So,
agree.
in so short and simple, I would say that they need to develop themselves as a wellness practitioner, as a wellness professional, as a wellness leader, understanding about the business, the revenue, the marketing, because wellness is everything. Otherwise, you cannot be successful. You may go little up, but then that place you may not able to hold for a long time. You will come down.
I agree. No, very
Uh,
powerful, very sage words. No, I mean, and I think and you say it in a very kind, loving way. You have to, you have to walk the talk. You have to, if you are this wellness leader, you have to embody that identity and strengthen what needs strengthening, and you elevate the business, you
that,
elevate the industry as a result. And to wrap up, one last question. Most one part of my audience, obviously, and my followers are wellness leaders within hotels or people who do aspire to be one. But I also work a lot with boutique hotel owners who are curious about knowing, how should they find the right wellness leader, and how should they manage or lead, you know, a wellness leader? What recommendations would you give them?
see, uh, I would say that, sometimes the CV can be written very nicely. So if you depend on the resume, and then if you decide this is the candidate, it may not be the actual truth. So, however, as I said, the combination of experience, knowledge, and how, because see the passion in wellness industry, unless you are passionate, I would say it is very difficult to survive because you will not get idea. The innovation comes to your passion. If you are passionate, you will be fearless because you have knowledge, you have a spiritual power. So the moment you develop all those things, the fear will go automatically, and the fear restrict everything. And a person when they speak, you can make out whether this person is passionate or not. So I would say that any wellness leader, if you're hiring, that leader needs to be passionate. And you see the experience where are the working and all those things. At the same time, education background, subject, not I'm talking about general education. What are the things that they have done? Is there any education to support that kind of thing? Because what happened is the moment you focus on the education and you see the person has well educated and did this, that means and continuous improvement, continuously improvement. This person is really uh, acting like a student, and how humble is that person? Because in this industry, as I said in the beginning, Sonal, that it is not about a job,
No.
it is a responsibility. Because we do a community activities, we do the community initiative. We are not restricted in our resort and hotel. We go out to the community. We help the community to become healthy and happy. You are giving. The wellness is more about giving rather than taking. So if the person is passionate, if the person has a good experience and they continuously growing and and he's speaking the heart, not manipulated fancy words. Because that nowadays a lot of people that they can do it. They really can speak so well. They can mesmerize you. But as an interviewer, you need to check all the qualities that is that person whatever is talking is makes sense, or because the moment you shift your brain from one angle to another angle, you will be able to identify the person. Is it how reliable for this position?
I agree. No, it's always in the subtle nuances, and in a day and age where ChatGPT exists, people can turn out a CV that's not even theirs at the end of the day. So it's quite interesting. But Ram, it's been so inspiring speaking to you. Thank you so much for your
Pleasure.
wisdom, for sharing your insights, and also, a heartfelt thank you for everything you do for the industry. So it's a pleasure to have had you on my show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonal. It was really I really enjoyed speaking with you. There are so many things. It was there in my heart. It came out today. It was not the plan. I hope nobody should take it, other way. But let's accept what it is, and that's the way we can grow. Because the more we hide things, the more the complication will start. So rather accept and let's step forward and make this beautiful industry even better and even beautiful.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
very.
having me. Thank you
You
so
are
much.
most welcome, and thank you so much.